everyone. In this video, I just want to do a short little introduction to the podcast and kind of my thoughts for it, or at least right now, my thoughts right now, what I'm thinking for it. Because I know I keep posting about how it's kind of this catch-all podcast with a lifestyle and everything. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that is where my mind is right now with it, because my husband is starting his own podcast. Me and him a couple weeks back did a kind of like a little mock interview. I don't know the right word for it, just like a mock interview. So he was interviewing me about the boutique, and he's never done any editing when it comes to YouTube or podcast audio editing. So we just did a 20-minute interview, and then he's practicing editing it, and he wants to start his own podcast. The idea with his is he wants to interview smaller, I guess not smaller, but here's an example that kind of started with the idea with his is, I remember we were driving around one day and he passed it was a vacuum store specifically just for vacuums. And me and him were joking back and forth, how do these people keep, does a vacuum, it was a giant vacuum store, and we were just kind of joking, like, how is that place still in business? Like, they must be doing something right. We're thinking there's no way that many people are buying vacuums and staying afloat. So he kind of wants to interview companies like that. Just how were they successful? Very general, successful, what worked for them, what hasn't worked for them, what was something that was really annoying when they started that now they don't have to worry about, or what was a really good point in their whole process of building this business that they really thought that they got there, they were successful. How long did it take? Stuff like that, just general questions like that. So that's gonna be more his podcast. So he's gonna interview basically entrepreneurs, I guess. So for my podcast, this one, kind of what we're thinking is, what I've been saying is, I think it will just end up being a catch-all, a little bit of financial, a little bit of business, a little bit of lifestyle, little bit of marriage, just a little bit of traveling, just kind of a little bit of everything. So Josh won't be on every single podcast that I make. So for example, this curtsy one, this kind of series that I have an idea that's going to be a series, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. That one will just have me on it because, Josh is not interested in like the buying and selling apps. I mean, he has no reason to be interested in it. So that one will just be primarily me. But for example, financial type stuff, Josh is 1,000 times better at articulating what he's saying and explaining things better than me. He's just more of a math nerd, numbers type guy is all. So he's just better at explaining that stuff than me. So like that could be one where Josh and I are both on it, just tips and tricks, what's helped us financially, things that we suggest that will be helpful in the long run, stuff like that. And then same thing with obviously traveling and marriage stuff. Josh and I could both be on if that's the topic that day, if it's like a marriage topic that we want to talk about, or if we were talking about something and we got this idea and we think we wanted to hear your guys' opinions on it, or we think that you guys will be interested in it, stuff like that. So sometimes it'll be just me, sometimes it'll be both Josh and I on it. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now for this podcast. Like I said, all of this could change. Maybe I end up just making it straightforward, only business, entrepreneur related type stuff. Maybe like that's what I change it to 10 years from now. I don't know. But right now, in this moment, this is what I'm thinking of. It'll be just this little bit of everything catch-all podcast. One other thing I wanted to throw in quick before I end it is both Josh and I are very new to podcasting, as in this will only be my second podcast, and then Josh is working on editing his, but we never done any podcasting, but I know the beauty with podcasting is you literally just talk and you can say and almost do whatever you want. That's kind of the beauty in it, and that's why a lot of people like podcasting. There's not a lot of, guidelines. It's your podcast. You can just go at it. So we're still really new to it and getting more comfortable with it and figuring out kind of the brief little edits and stuff like that. So yeah, bear with us there. This is a whole new realm for us to work on and figure out kind of the format we want to do. But like I said, just bear with us. We're new. It's like anything that you start new. Eventually you'll get better at it. You get better as you go. Trial and error. So if you guys are interested in that, please like, subscribe. I'll have everything where you can follow me linked below on both the podcast and on social media. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know, but I just want to do this kind of introductory, this is where my mind is at. If you have any topics you want me to cover, or Josh and I both to cover, let me know. But thank you guys all for watching and listening. Love you.